What is hatching, Tuggy Peeps? OldManTup coming at you today from the OldManTup kitchen. And today we're going to have the first ever cooking session with OldManTup. Gator's walking through. He wants to be a part of the movie as well. Video, yeah. So today, since we are going to be battling Mega Mogwai probably later this evening, we are going to make a delicacy that he is used to eating as is from his motherland. And that is burritos. We're going to learn to make burritos the OldManTup way. So let's get to it, guys. Okay, depending on how many people you are going to be cooking for would depend on how much meat you make. I am cooking for about 2.5 people, which is myself, my wife, and my oldest daughter. My youngest daughter is not a fan, but we're going to be cooking about 2 pounds of beef, and that makes for plenty of leftovers because reheated burrito stuff is always good. There is multiple types of meat you can use for this, beef, chicken, turkey. If you are a little bit more on the leaner side, we are using lean ground chuck for this. Looks like Ebola to me. But yeah, candle there because you know it's always good to smell good in the kitchen. We are going to turn the oven on. We actually already have this heating up. Don't ever touch hot stuff on a thing. And we're going to brown this meat real quick. So we will be back after this is in there and we've got our meat browned. Okay, guys? Okay, we have our meat in the pan and it is hot enough to be browning it but not cooking it too quick to where it's going to make your meat tough. We started off on the setting of 5 on an I don't know what kind of oven this is. Regular home oven, and we bumped it up to a 6, 6.5. Now you're going to notice some fat pooling. Even though you could have the leanest of the lean meat, there's always going to be some fat cook out of it, and you just want to continue. Yeah, this isn't easy to do by myself. And stir. You want to get 99.9% of the pink cooked out of it. Someone's going to say, oh my gosh, you leave the pink in it? This isn't a hamburger we're talking about, and you are 100% correct. One thing we are going to do after this is continue to cook it. Right now what we are doing is trying to cook as much of the fat out of it as possible. Because a fatty burrito is not something you want in the kitchen, that's something you want in the bedroom. Okay, now that we have almost all the paint cooked out of this, we are going to turn our burner off. And if you want to be super safe, go ahead and cook all the pink out, but just barely. And what we're going to do next is all the fat that you can see right there. Oh yeah, that delicious fatty American goodness. We're going to drain that. You're not going to see that because that's something I need both hands to do so I don't burn the crap out of myself and or pour scalding beef fat all over the place. So what we are going to do is cover this with a glass pot cover. We're going to take the spatula out, we're going to cover it, we're going to bring it over here, and we're going to tip it sideways and drain the fat. Normally I have a glass jar, but my glass grease jar is gone. We're going to pour it into this plastic cup. If you're worried about grease going down the drain in the sink, double cup it, but 1 cup is almost always enough. Okay guys, we'll be right back after that with our next set of instructions. Okay, we have successfully drained the fat from the beef, and now we are going to add our seasoning. And the seasoning I will be using tonight is just the generic McCormick taco. That's way out of focus. Let's go. Nope. Oh, nope, doesn't like that. McCormick taco seasoning. It's just a generic mix, and I do recommend until you've tried it to use, and there's children screaming in the background because I'm cooking for them. I recommend you use what it recommends because you're either going to get way too spicy or not spicy enough. And what we're going to do, we add that, we are going to stir that in, then we are going to add the recommended amount of water. And once we have that on, we'll go to our next step. Okay, and now we have added our taco seasoning and water, even though we had to double up the portions because what it says on the package was for only a single pound and we made 2. So we doubled it up, and it should look about the same as it did before you drain the grease. There should be just enough water up above about half of the meat. And you want to stir in your seasoning. What we're going to do now, we're going to turn the heat back on, and you want to bring this to a boil. And after we do that, we are going to turn the heat down, simmer it, cover it, and stir occasionally, letting the water boil off. And we'll come back once we've done that. Okay, and we've got this to about the simmer we want. My recommendation for this is starting, get it to a full boil where the water is bubbling and rising very quickly, and then slowly throttle back your burner bit by bit until it gets to about this point. And this may be a little bit fast, but I put quite a bit of water in mine, so I boil it off a little bit faster. As a matter of fact, we're going to throttle it back just another hair, bumping it all the way back down to 2. We started at 7 to get it boiling, and that should make it pretty good. And this takes anywhere from a recommended 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how much water you put in, based upon the recipe as it calls or your personal liking. This is an excellent time for you to set the table if you don't have children to make do it, but I do, and they have already set our table for 3 because the wife is unfortunately working through dinner time tonight. So we are making Star Wars cups, and oh yeah, the Macho Man, with some beautiful Gerber daisies, which we saw last time. But okay guys, this has been a little stroll through OldManTup's kitchen. And you want to stir this about every 2 to 3 minutes just to make sure nothing's burning or sticking on the bottom. And once the majority of the water has cooked out, again, it will take anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes depending on how much meat and water you are using. Alright guys, we will see you once this has all cooked out and start constructing our burritos. Okay, as we continue to wait for the water to slowly simmer out of here, you can't rush a good meal. We are going to look at some of Tup's favorite toppings for burritos. And we have the Mission Flour Tortillas, super soft. These are my large burrito tortillas. My all-time favorite tortilla shell is the Mission. It's always just soft enough, it's always sturdy enough to hold up all the crap that I put in it. And yeah, it's delicious. The type of cheese you put in your burrito is up to you. Almost any cheese will do if it's to your fancy. We have mild cheddar here today. Sometimes you get a 3-cheese blend or a Mexi blend, and those go fantastic. Also some salsa, some cheese medium, my all-time favorite. Some black olives, the best of the best of the best. Also, for a little bit of extra flavor, we got Taco Bell mild sauce, which is the Taco Bell mild sauce, as well as some sour cream, because what's a burrito without sour cream? While we're going over this, something you may notice being absent is beans. We're not much of a big fan of refried beans in this family, so that will be absent from this burrito video. However, if you like refried beans, that is a staple of almost any burrito. So go ahead and add your beans. Some other favorite toppings some people like to have are fresh cut tomatoes, onions, peppers, different variety of meats, as well as lettuce. So alright guys, that has been a brief rundown of what we will be putting on the tacos and burritos today. So I will see you in a minute. Okay, we have put our burrito shell in the microwave for approximately 25 seconds to warm it up and make it nice and soft. And we've applied cheese. We're going to get some of our meat and spread down the middle generously. Okay, maybe a little more. Then we're going to go over to our additional flavor items. Open up the sour cream. Get some sour cream. Put a few dollops in there. Yes, I use the term dollops, kid. Look it up. And this is good thick cream cheese so it isn't falling all over the place. So how are the burritos, girls?
Delicious.
Good.
Delicious.
The girls are already eating. We feed them first. Okay. Now we are going to, yep, like I said, this should have been two-hand job. I should have opened this stuff before. We're going to apply salsa on top of the sour cream. If you've never had salsa and sour cream at the same time, you have been missing out on your life, because it is the best. And then we're going to get a handful of some halved black olives and cover the top. Then we are going to roll it up and eat it. And that is how OldManTup makes a burrito. Thank you for watching, and thank you, Megamogwai. I hope our match is every bit as delicious as this burrito. This has been OldManTup. We will catch you on the flip side, guys. Peace out.